Nvidia just out with earnings, reporting a beat on the top and bottom lines and giving strong Q4 revenue guidance. The company's been on a massive tear, up 50% in the last 3 months alone, adding to those gains after hours today, now up nearly 3% on these results. Joining us now is Raji Gill of Needham. Thank you very much for joining us. So in your note ahead of today's results, you said that Nvidia's earnings come at a crucial time. It will take a lot to lift this stock. Was a lot provided in today's release?
Yes, absolutely. The guidance for January was 7.4 billion. The street was around 6.9 billion. So a significant beat on the guide. The gross margins are coming in about 67%, which is also above the street. Data center revenue grew about 50% year over year. So it actually reaccelerated from last quarter, which grew about 15% year over year. So the growth rate is accelerating. Gaming is growing significantly. So all business segments are growing, and this is even before we start to see the metaverse impact of 3D virtual worlds, or even the autonomous driving revolution that will be happening over the next several years. Just on the core kind of data center and gaming business, it was extremely strong.
And Raji, in terms of the gross margin, I know you are focused on that coming into earnings. What was your takeaway, and were you impressed?
Yeah, I think the gross margins have improved significantly for Nvidia. And if you look at semiconductor companies in general, it's a rarefied territory to be in the 60s plus gross margin. There's only maybe a handful of chip companies that have 60% plus gross margin. Nvidia is at 67%. And one of the main reasons why Nvidia is generating such high margins is that they sell a lot of software. There's a significant amount of software built into their data centers. There's a lot of software that's built into their professional visualization services for workstation graphics. Going forward, there is more opportunity for them to sell more software, particularly in the metaverse, where these companies can leverage their 3D simulation software technology, and that will all be very high gross margins.
Raji, as you mentioned, the conference call here starts in about a half hour. What are you looking for from executives today? What kind of color would help guide this company moving forward?
Yeah, sure. So one, I would be looking for, what is their outlook for data center growth going into calendar 22? Data center has been the principal growth driver for Nvidia over the last several quarters. Data center is dependent on hyperscaler spending from companies like Facebook and Amazon and Alibaba. It's also, we're seeing a lot of adoption of artificial intelligence and machine learning across verticals. So certain industries like financial services and oil and gas and logistics. So I would love to get an update on the adoption of AI using NVIDIA's GPUs for training and inference across those different end markets, hyperscalers, vertical, enterprise, and kind of what's their view on data center spending and the outlook next year. Also, the upgrade cycle that's occurring in the gaming market is just beginning. 80% of their installed base is on the older gaming architecture. NVIDIA has 250 million GeForce gamers around the world. Only 20% of that 250 is on the latest gaming architecture. They're all going to be upgrading to this latest architecture over the next 2 years. So it'd be interesting to hear how that upgrade cycle is happening. And also would love to get an update on the ARM acquisition that has been meeting some hurdles. I think it's very low probability. Regulatory agencies will approve it, but would like to get an update on the ARM acquisition and any kind of crypto exposure as well.